Hi, we have Digital Imaging and Photography, Chapter 18. This is part 1 of this by Jennifer Noakes, who is me, and then Cody Avery. Let's just start off with it. So why would you study? Digital imaging and photography is the most visual medium in the world. It's growing so fast, it's hard to keep up with it. Social media apps and camera phones, everyone can have a part of it. We can be creative. It's a great and amazing thing. But as we do this, we need to remember everybody's watching. Everything you post online is somebody's going to see, no matter what the picture is. A little bit of background on it. Images have been manipulated in some sort of way for a long time now. This is a picture of a 1906 where there was an earthquake in San Francisco. The book states that 30% of these pictures were manipulated in some sort of way. This is in 1982, the National Geographic. The pyramids would not fit on the page together, so they had to move them closer in order for that to work. And so they, again, manipulated their pictures. In 1991, the National Press Photographers updated their code of ethics to encompass digital imaging factors. So this making it so history stays correct and we're not changing all the pictures that we have. The first photograph on record was by Joseph Niepce. I'm not exactly sure if I'm saying that correctly, but this is the picture. He took a picture, I think, as his country house out in the outside in 1826, if I remember correctly. Yes. This picture had an 8-hour exposure on it. Our exposures nowadays in cameras can be up to 1/500th of a second, up even more and greater than that with cameras that we have. These are some of the first cameras. Then we have and I'm going to butcher these names. It's the daguerreotype. This is where the one that Joseph used, but then was later made greater by his business partner. We have the calotype, the wet collidin, the gelatin bromide dry plate. With all of these, pictures kind of look different depending on what was going on and what they were doing. Most of the ones that we know nowadays and we've seen, the film camera. The film camera was around for probably one of the longest amount of times. And I remember, using some film when I was a kid. But now we have digital cameras. Digital cameras are a fast-growing thing now. The first digital camera was made by Kodak in 1975. Said it was the size of a toaster, and it had, I think, 0.01 megapixels, which is super small. Our megapixels now are a lot greater than that. Digital still cameras came out in the 1990s, was sold for a little bit less than $1,000. It could store up to 32 images on its memory chip. That was made by Dicam, and it was in a monochromatic gray scale. In 1994, Apple released one of theirs, and it cost about $749, and from there they kept growing, and depending on what we needed. Digital photography works by recording light in shades of gray through filters, and then mathematically interpolations. Each pixel is assigned a color. With this, it means that we have to have great software in our digital cameras from there, so that we can get the pixels and colors that we need to correlate with what picture we took. It's a huge thing, and it's amazing how smart our cameras can be. One of the most recent and largely growing fields in camera development is the camera phone. As time goes on, the camera becomes better and better. Let's start with recent developments here. The camera phone. Recently, iPhone 7 was released with an updated camera. From Apple.com, it states that the camera has a 12 MP optical image stabilizations with a f1.8 aperture, and then 6 elements lens. According to Samsung.com, the Samsung Galaxy S7, there is an updated camera, has also a 12 MP, but also has a f1.7 aperture and sharper image focuses. So as you can see, depending on the cameras, we're getting greater. The first flip camera phone we had, was pixelated. You could hardly tell what you were taking a picture of. And now it's sharp image focusing. The book states that there's another factor that contributes to this disruptive innovation. That is the rise of social media. Social media has a great impact on how technology grows. The more we want to post current pictures, the more we want the newest and greatest technology to do that. We want the sharper focus. We want better zoom, Through these things, we have a need of wanting better technology with that and the world's demands. Digital cameras have not changed a whole ton, but the specs of the cameras are always changing, such as better lenses. Wi-Fi built in, I think, the newest Canons. I know Nikon has a separate extender you can use, so you use the Wi-Fi that goes directly to your phone, and then from there you can upload it to your Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever it may need to be. But then, we have faster shutter speeds, greater apertures, better ISOs. It's changing dramatically. Through these small changes, we're able to have a camera that can compete with our new demands, things that we are looking for that better technology. We'll go on to my quiz questions. My quiz question for part 1 here is, who was the first photographer? Who was the first to photograph something? And what was the exposure time? And the answer is Joseph Nye-Peace, and it was 8 hours long. In the next section, Cody's going to talk about more on the current status. There's some stuff about social media there, and also factors to watch for. Thank you so much.